He is a God-ordained leader, sworn protector and teacher, a mirror with an image to uphold, with arms for when she is cold, a formidable warrior built with integrity, upholding his sovereignty, king of the house he built, and a servant to all who abide in it. Look no farther. He is strong. He is benevolent. He is a father.
That he is. Hi there. Welcome to the day when we put our fathers front and center. I'm Adrian Atkinson and you're watching Jamaica Magazine. Come on now. Let's get these pages turning.
In 2023, many of you told us how pleasantly surprised you were with our first Transformations Expo. Be prepared to be amazed at Transformations Expo 2.0, People, Quality and Technology, coming from 2 locations at the National Arena in Kingston and simultaneously at the Montego Bay Community College from Thursday, June 19 to Sunday, June 22. Bring your friends, bring your family. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
As you already know, today we're celebrating our fathers. Hence, we here at the GIS checked in with our staffers as they share their best advice they received from their dads. Take a look.
My father, Lassell Palmer, he always remind me that no matter what the situation is, to always trust God because He will make a way.
Make the best of every opportunity.
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Learn to do something yourself.
Pray, work hard, and trust God.
To be diplomatic in how I approach people, to treat people equally.
When we were growing up, we didn't have much, and so sometimes we would get carried away with what other kids had, and you know, he taught us the importance of just focusing on yourself and working really hard.
Because we come from a very big family, he always encourages us to live good.
He encourages me to just continue to do the best that I can, no matter what the situation is. He's always encouraging, he's always in my corner.
Whatever it is that I'm going to do my absolute best at it. Give it my all, try my hardest to get it done as best as possible.
Them just used to always say, if you live long enough, you will learn. Basically telling you that you need to, see the lesson in everything that you do and figure out which way you're going to grow and develop and be better so that you don't make the same mistakes over and over and over again.
And of course, one day, busha. That one for me is very important, especially in the work situation. You learn to be responsible with the things you do and really be accountable.
Words can hurt you, sticks and stones break bones. So don't ever let somebody's words affect how you feel about yourself. They can hurt you. It's supposed to be like water off a duck's back.
He always says, even when no one believes in you, believe in yourself.
And to always do my best.
And don't compromise my values to please anyone.
Try to organize things and to get ahead of things and be on time.
The advice my father used to give me had a lot to do with what boys would say to me. So when I got that age, I knew what to expect.
If I'm thinking of dating at the time, was to make sure that I don't ask no man for money, but to watch to see what he would do.
Just do it. Once it's legal and morally correct, just do it.
As of June 1, we have entered the Atlantic hurricane season, and what that means is that we all should be doing our part to help minimize destruction. That is, in case any of the 21 named storms become more than just a probability. In this week's Get the Facts, we are providing information to ensure our farmers can do just that. Let's tune in to the discussion.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the show that gives you information on the latest topics. I'm Theodore Henry. Today we're talking about something that every farmer needs to prepare for: hurricanes. When severe weather hits, it's not just your houses that are at risk, your crops, your livelihood, your livestock, everything. Those are at risk too. To walk us through the essential steps to get ready, we're joined by Andrea Legg, Plant, Health and Food Safety Officer at the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, otherwise known as RADA. Lady Legg, hello.
Hello.
Let's jump into getting some facts. Why is it, this might be a bit of an obvious question, but help me out here. Why is it that it is crucial for farmers to prepare for the hurricane season?
All right. Hurricane preparedness include all those activities, measures that the farmer employ to proactive employment of these activities to ensure that they reduce or prevent any damage that a hurricane can cause, as well as to ensure that the recovery process, if they sustain any kind of damage, they can recover faster. So it is very important that they implement these activities to reduce the loss in terms of their investment in crops, whether it is infrastructure or overall livelihood.
Got it. I like that word you use, proactive. So that means that the right time to start preparing isn't, there's a hurricane coming.
Exactly. It's before, way before.
Right. But help me out here. What sort of proactive steps can a farmer take in preparing for his crops, her crops?
Okay. It depends on the stage at which the farmer is, whether we're in the production cycle, whether he has not yet started the production or he's along the cropping cycle.
Right.
So if the crop is mature, the first thing you want to do is to harvest all the mature crops, ripe or unripe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And put in storage.
Yeah.
Another thing, they want to cut back the trees to minimize damage from the wind. They want to ensure that they have proper drainage, especially in areas where it is flood prone.
Right.
Right. And secure tools and equipment, irrigation equipment is important to secure those indoor.
Got it. So you mentioned mature crops. What about the immature ones?
Right. Yeah. So farmers may have seedlings. They may have young crops that are not yet ready to be harvested. So they need to, if it's seedlings that they can store indoors, or if they are establishing those seedlings, they need to ensure that they do so at the proper spacing, plant densities, so that immediately after a hurricane, or severe weather event, then the field is penetrated by sunlight, air can circulate, reduce the humidity around the plants, and humidity is necessary for disease development. So you want to reduce that kind of environment as quick as possible, so that you increase the chances of you getting the right yield and getting optimum from your crop.
And you had mentioned something, reducing the recovery time. So that this helps as well.
Yes.
But I have to ask, so we're talking about the crops. You mentioned equipment as well. But the farmland itself, like the soil, is there any protection that needs to happen there?
Yes, definitely. Because depending on where you are, if you're operating on a slope, your production system has to be aligned like that. Say if you have to plant across the contour, not along it, because you want to.
I'm trying to imagine it. Yeah.
Yes. So you have to put in you can put in live barriers, artificial ones, so that you reduce the rate of runoff. And you know that runoff, water going down the hill, will more easily detach soil particles and lead to loss. So you want to implement those activities to reduce soil erosion.
Got it. Now, Tell me, from the perspective of where you sit, what are some of the mistakes you see farmers make every hurricane season?
Yes, common mistakes that farmers make. they will start to implement the measures when the hurricane reaches them. So they may not trust the alerts, the warning systems, the advisories that come out. So they don't implement the measures that are necessary to reduce the damage. In terms of supplies too, they may not stock on the required materials that they will need to even prevent certain issues. So if you have crops in the field again, you might want to spray a systemic fungicide and just to help the plants to recover faster. If you don't have the pesticides as soon as the hurricane passes, you want to implement treatment, you want to apply fertilizer. If you don't have those things in stock, your response time will be short and the damage can be greater.
That's very interesting, Lady Legg, because I thought we were talking about the storm, before the storm, and perhaps during the storm, but you're telling me a part of the proactivity has to deal with after the storm has passed, with the whole fungicide spraying to ensure that disease doesn't happen there.
Right, because sometimes even after the storm, you have shortages in different supplies. You don't really want that to affect your recovery rate, because everyone is exposed to the same level of risk in terms of damage to whatever, if it's their infrastructure, the roadways, that can prevent you from accessing certain services and products. So you want to make sure that you stock up on what you need when you need it, so you can implement whatever you need to do.
That's fascinating. We are getting the facts, but we're going to take a break. Our discussion on hurricane preparation for farmers will continue with RADA's Andrea Legg, Plant Health and Food Safety Officer.
I'm Karina Powellhood. We've been planning for months, and now we're ready to share more of the essence of who we are. At the JCF Transformations People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0, coming June 19 to 22nd at the National Arena in Kingston and at the Montego Bay Community College. Come, see, experience what you've been hearing about your transforming police force.
Welcome back. I'm still talking with Andrea Legg, Plant Health and Food Safety Officer at the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, and we're discussing hurricane preparation tips for farmers. Lady Legg, let's go back to best practices for minimizing damage. Tell me about that a bit more.
Okay, for farmers who have not yet started the production, they have the opportunity to reduce some risk. For example, they can choose the production site that is not within the flood-prone area or waterlogged, or can experience waterlogged conditions.
Right.
Yes, so they can choose the crop type, the varieties that can withstand these conditions better. They can remove the debris, whatever materials laying around, that so as not to block the drains, so as not to become a windborne hazard to put their lives at risk or in other infrastructure. They can better plan their production and preparedness activities so that they can implement way in advance before the hurricane season starts.
I find this fascinating. So you're saying a part of your planning and to what to plant and where to plant it should take the hurricane season into account.
Exactly.
Got it. Let's talk greenhouses. People who have one greenhouse, many greenhouses, what do they do?
Okay, interesting. Yes, they can, what they should do is really to cut any tree that may be in close proximity to the greenhouses. In terms of the materials, because you see how the planning comes in, where they employ whatever they employ in terms of the construction of the greenhouses. It's better to use metal galvanized materials that with a locking profile that can easily assist easy removal of the plastic and the mesh. Approaching, when a hurricane is approaching, they can lower the crops from the trellis system, and cover it with plastic that they would have removed from the roof, and that way you kind of offer some protection to the crop itself.
Kind of lower down to the ground, so the wind has Right. So removing the plastic and the mesh, it allows the wind to pass through, so it doesn't damage the structure itself. Okay. You mentioned galvanized metal. That's what you said, correct?
Yes.
As opposed to like PVC
wood.
pipe or wood.
Right.
Wood.
So those are not as durable and can withstand the elements.
You have seen this happen out in the field, people with pipe and wood, and they're like, this is what I have, and it just...
and the takedown time is much more complicated and labor intensive.
Got it.
So you want to increase the efficiency in all of these areas, so it better helps you in your preparedness.
And I believe it makes sense to underline here that we have hurricane season every year. So you might as well.
You might as well.
All right, so we're almost at the end of the interview, and I have to say this. Listening to what you have said so far, I'm not a farmer, not yet, but I can imagine that someone might say, I feel so overwhelmed with all these things that Andrea Legg says we have to do. What support can RADA provide?
Okay, the first thing you have to do is to understand your level of risk, right? Don't try to implement everything all at once to manage all the risk, and that is why you have all the other months to prepare.
True.
It's better when you do it in increments. You do your preparation in increments rather than trying to do everything at once. Essentially, you be registered so that you can access the services. In the event of a hurricane, you can contact the RADA, find out whatever assistance that may be in place, and aid the process in terms of the recovery efforts that the government might provide. If you need more support from RADA during the preparation period, you can always reach out to the extension officers. Every area has one. You need to know them. You can contact RADA 876-977-1158 through to 62, or get more information from rada.gov.jm.
Right. You guys do site visits?
Yes, we do.
Do site visits. Yes. Wonderful. All right, so that's all the time we have for today. We've been discussing hurricane preparation for farmers with Andrea Legg. She's the Plant Health and Food Safety Officer at the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA. This has been Get the Facts, and I'm your host, Theodore Henry. And until next time, stay safe.
Earlier, our staffers shared the best advice they got from their fathers. Now they tell us about their fondest memories with their dad.
Playing cricket, playing cricket with my father is fun. I mean, we used to watch cricket in the early mornings. The West Indies and India, and he was Tendulkar, me was Lara, you understand?
Going to my father's farm on a Sunday morning, we would cook and then go to the beach after.
We used to go to Fort Clarence almost every Sunday. And I remember he had this big belly that I used to float on.
He used to lift me up and fling me into the water when I couldn't swim, and I had to kind of learn how to swim on the fly. But yeah, those were some good times.
Whenever we go to the beach, we always have a good time together. We have a lot of pictures there.
Being thrown up and down
being lifted by my father.
I was having a difficult moment with a course, and his encouragement really helped me. And I would say when I graduated, it's almost like the moment wouldn't have been complete without him.
There is one particular summer I was working with him for a summer job, so I kind of like learned how to see how you interact in a professional environment, and there are still key attributes that I instill in myself just from working alongside him.
When I was graduating high school and I was named valedictorian of my year, just looking down into the crowd and seeing the smile that he had on his face was truly, truly one of the memories I hold the dearest.
When he was giving the toast at my wedding, he actually started to bawl. And it was nice to know that we were able to have that moment with each other.
Driving anywhere, especially long distances, he'd say the most, I wouldn't say outrageous, but he just said some things and it's just so funny.
If my father were a superhero, I think he would be Captain America. I think because of how he stands for what is good, what is right. He seeks to help, seeks to be there for people, encourages everybody, and just wants to save the world.
I would say Iron Man. The reason being, he's always working. So when I remember watching Iron Man, it's like Iron Man is always doing something with his hands. So that's what basically describe who my father is.
I would say Green Lantern. And the reason is, if you know Green Lantern, you know he has that ring that can make almost anything. So I guess no matter what we needed, I don't know how he did it, but he always found a way to make sure that we had it.
I think he'd be Flash because he moves very quickly. He does things very quickly. Like if you ask him to do something, he's going to be on it.
Batman, because he may appear mortal, but the things he does, the way he uses himself, the way, very, very hardworking.
I would say Superman because he's a jack of all trades.
Not only because of his physical strength, but also because of his strength in character.
Like a chubby Superman, right? And a shorter Superman. But, despite being short, I still look up to him.
I wouldn't like my dad to any superhero because they're superficial, and my dad is like the real deal. So yeah, big up Henry anyway there. Love you, daddy.
Up next, we'll hear more about the importance of fathers in the lives of their children.
We just have to teach them the right way, right? Because it's one thing to speak out, but yet we cannot speak out of terms. I understand now we still have to watch what we say, because even though there is free speech, we still have to be respectable and responsible. So if we can teach them the right way to express themselves in the right way, then I think we'll go far in growing up to be respectable and honorable men in society.
Protect the children, because the children are the future and we're going to need them. And if we do not protect the children, then we're going to have a society of chaos. You understand me? Because the children are the future. We've been saying it for years now. This is not something that's new. And we know that the importance of this world right now is the future in the children. So we have to protect the children at all costs. And we have to know that we give them the right and proper guidance. You understand me? No one is perfect, but we can try our best.
One of the things we can do is embrace your children more, love them more, show them love, and appreciate them.
Just be there for them, whether it's your child, yes or no. Once you see that there's danger, you just try to protect them, help in the community, help to grow the kids to have a better future.
All right, so to all the fathers, whatever status you are, so whether you are biological or you are a father figure in someone else's life, I want to wish you all the very best.
What you do makes a difference, your presence makes a difference.
Hats off to all those fathers who are principled in laying down the foundation, who are guiding, who are protecting.
Your guidance and your impact is immeasurable.
The sacrifice that you have made is something that will always be with me throughout life.
You are somewhat smaller in number than the mothers, but nonetheless, you are just as important.
I just want to commend them. I want to salute the fathers who are there for their children.
Your children need you. Never forget that. You play a very important role and keep playing that role, and the entire society thanks you for it.
I know that it's a hard job. You know, a lot of persons aren't there for their girls and their boys. So I big up you and thank you for being there for us.
Good fathers, you've been great, and we appreciate what you've done for us and the part you've played in our lives.
All the fathers everywhere, a happy Father's Day. Hope you have a fantastic day.
I just want to wish all the fathers across Jamaica a happy Father's Day.
And to Winston Chambers.
Also to Mr. Delroy Hill.
Big shout out to my dad, Mr. Felix Downer. Happy Father's Day to my wonderful father, Aubrey Alexander Williams.
Especially to Devil Whelan of Westmoreland. I love you, Daddy. Happy Father's Day.
And a special Father's Day to my daddy, O'Neill Bryan.
Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there who are taking care of their kids, both financially, mentally, emotionally, all the alleys.
Continue doing what you're doing. We need you.
And may your days be filled with joy and peace and relaxation, whether it's the football or the coffee or the nice food. Enjoy your Father's Day.
You are loved, you are seen, and you are valued.
We've come to the end of today's show. To catch a repeat of this or any other, feel free to log on to our website at jis.gov.jm. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.